I think a lot of people are expecting, well, maybe 99% of the world are expecting Jaron to take care of business and Rashidi to take care of business. But I know you saw the back and forth up there, them getting into it.
Yeah.
Could be next, possibly, man.
I would love to see that next.
Is Rashidi the type of guy that makes you want to say, okay, he has a legitimate chance to actually beat Boots?
Absolutely, because of how fast he is and how intuitive defensively he is. You know what I mean? I would much have rather those guys sit up there and say, hey, we fight next. I can't wait to get in the ring with you. I'm gonna knock this dude out, and I'm coming to see you, opposed to barking out about what is more than likely not realistic. It's more than likely not realistic, even though he's going to get a mandatory, or he's going to be in a mandatory position. It's not realistic that Boots is going to get Errol Spence Jr. next. You know,
you don't think so?
I don't think it's realistic. I think Errol has bigger things on his mind. Not to say that that Boots is not more than likely the biggest challenge that he could have. But at the same time, I just think that what Errol is looking for is not Boots. Boots is scratching and clawing to get to Errol, but is that scratching and clawing going to get you there? I'd rather you be on stage and tell everybody what's next, because that's more realistic than be on stage and say, man, I dust you off, I'm ready for something else, you know? Get the people excited. You have a moment right here. We don't have what the NBA has. We don't have what the NFL has. If I wanted to right now, I could go online, look at what Cavaliers game I want to go to. I could set my whole life around going to that Cavaliers game. I don't know when Boots is going to get in the ring with Errol. But what I do know is that Boots and Rashidi said we fight next, and they said we fight next in June, it's right there.
You know, a guy in yourself who held the IBF title, I believe it's 120 days that Spence is going to have if Boots win the interim title on Saturday. So Spence is going to have about 120 days. He's supposed to come back in April, maybe against Keith Thurman, and then, you know, either he'll move up or he'll fight Crawford.
Right.
So what do you, if you could kind of envision it, how do you see his 2023 mapping out? Do you think it's going to be like a Keith Thurman and then a Crawford? Do you think it's just going to be automatically Crawford? Do you think it's going to be Keith and he moves up, or he just moves up automatically? What do you think?
I think it's going to be Keith, and then I can see him moving up. I've been saying for a long time that I honestly expect Terrence and Keith and Errol to fight at 154 pounds. I don't think that they're going to fight at 147.
Is it less meaningful, though? Because it's not for Undisputed now.
The belts don't matter.
You know, not even Undisputed?
No disrespect, but the belts don't matter.
For all of them, no.
There's history there. Everybody's looking at the history. But the true history is that you got two dogs, and that dog beat that dog. Not we got two dogs, and that dog has all the belts. That's not what it truly is. But that's what everybody sees and everybody knows, you know. I'm gonna keep it 100. I had no clue what Undisputed even meant, because it didn't mean anything to me. What it meant to me was to have the fights that I had, fight the guys that I fought, be in the ring with those guys, do something great that people will remember forever.
In your honest view, because I know you remember.
Hey, think about it like this.
Okay.
When you watch a fight, if you talk about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, let's say they fight, and let's say somebody goes years later to watch that fight and they're turning it on. They're not going to talk about the belts being in the ring. They're going to say that guy was this, and this. That guy was that, and that. And before the fight happened, we thought this. And before the fight happened, watch this. Nobody's going to say, oh, yeah, and remember, it's for all the belts. That's not a part of the narrative. They're making it a part of the narrative.
Fair enough. But let me ask you this. I know, because when you was already established and a world champ, Spence was coming up. And he was beating dudes the hell up, and then he kept on calling out Thurman.
Yeah.
And then he won the IBF, and he still wanted to fight Thurman.
Yeah.
Thurman wasn't avoiding him, but Thurman was just like, I'm doing other things at the moment. I'm going to get to you eventually. Fight never actually happened. Now Spence has 3 of the belts. Boots is calling him out. And does it kind of feel like it's the same thing kind of happening?
Absolutely, 100%.
So should Boots be
we
mad
learn
at
from
Spence?
those. We learn from those that come before us.
Should Boots be mad at Spence the way Spence was mad at Thurman?
Boots don't know the way Errol didn't know, the way I didn't know why Mayweather wasn't saying my name. He just doesn't know. My dad told me, and this is when I let it go. My dad said, "You're never gonna get in the ring with Mayweather. They're not gonna give you that fight." So who else do you want? What else? What else what are your other goals? And that's how I let it go. But it took my dad explaining to me that this guy is on a whole nother level in terms of the money that he commands, the status that he has, the stardom that he has. You're not up there. He won't look down for you. Is what it is. No disrespect to me and my skills as a fighter, no disrespect to me as a person, all that. It just is what it is. And that's where Errol is now.
And 2 more questions for you. I know you're saying that Spence probably isn't going to fight Boots, but, Spence, he almost cut from the same cloth as you, man. Like, you want to fight all the top guys, man. So do you think a part of Spence would just be like, I want to move up, but they talking so much shit about him.
That's how I was. That's how I was when I fought Errol. It was like, don't nobody believe it, so let me shut them all up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's the same thing like that. So I definitely could see that from Spence. I could see Spence saying, hey, there's no more options. Everybody else that was on my level, they not there, they don't want it. Give me this man. Let me shut his mouth.